Ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is the long-awaited video. It's the boyfriend video, Q&A. So I asked you guys about a month ago questions that you wanted to ask us about our relationship, about us together or individually. So I'm going to read those out today. I have scanned through them and looked through them but haven't really thought of a response, and I haven't shared them at all with Peter. Yep. So this is going to be exciting. Let's go. So the first question is he also vegan, minimalist, zero waste, etc.? So all of those things.
I'm vegan, definitely vegan. Zero waste, I'm getting there. I'm getting better at that. I think after meeting you, definitely become more mindful about that. And minimalist, well, I've got two rucksacks that basically have all my possessions in it.
I think it's more minimalist out of necessity than it is out of like an aesthetic choice.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, I would consider you a minimalist for sure. You were like living out of a backpack.
Yeah, it's true.
And he doesn't own many things.
Yeah.
And we're kind of doing like zero waste journey together.
Yeah.
Learning as we go. It's difficult because we've been traveling a lot, so there's definitely been a lot more difficulties that I've experienced rather than before. I was living in London and had like my routine where I knew where to get things zero waste. Now we've been traveling a lot more together. I've been going through a learning curve and we've kind of been doing that together. So
yeah, and I think because we've been eating mostly whole foods, plant-based foods, it's mostly, a lot of it's without plastic anyway, so in terms of just food we're doing all right, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do a whole other video on that if you'd like to see that. Comment down below, because I've definitely been learning a lot more, and I've not been sharing so much in terms of zero waste because I've been going through a transition, but we can definitely share our experience. If you'd like to see that, let us know. Okay, second question. Did you both go into minimalism together, or was it an individual lifestyle change? So again, like we kind of already answered that.
Yeah.
He's just like minimalist naturally. I went through it like before we met, years and years before we met. If you'd like a video also on why I went minimalist, I can also do a video on that.
Yeah, I think I have kind of come into it later than you in life, in terms of my life anyway.
But I would reckon you probably didn't start at the same point. Like no. It seems like you've always lived with a little bit less.
Yeah, yeah, in general.
Yeah,
yeah,
in general.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you come from like a bit of a hoarder family.
There's a lot of things in our house.
But so do I as well.
Yeah.
Okay, someone asks, how did you guys meet? I knew this would come up.
Well,
we met on Instagram basically. We're super millennial and met online.
Yeah.
We were both vegan, we both promote vegan things, and we followed each other because of vegan activism, and then we just got to talking and decided to meet up one day, and
then we...
Instant click.
Yeah, we spoke for... Well, we met up for what was meant to be about an hour, and it turned into like 12, 13 hours of just talking.
Talking.
And we just forgot to eat, and so that was a pretty clear sign to me, because I love food, so...
It was just like an instantaneous connection, and then it just went from there, kind of naturally. So that's how we met. Next question. Okay, there's a lot of how did you guys meet. One question is, your boyfriend is so cute. It's not really a question, but
well, thank you very much.
Someone says, I admire your channel's aesthetics and your calm personality. Watching your videos always makes me feel better. Thanks. So my question is, do you both have the same aesthetic? Do you share the same passions like thrifting, veganism, minimalism, etc.? And have you ever been in a long distance relationship? And if so, how did you cope? Okay, that's quite a lot of questions. So the first bit of that was, do you have the same aesthetics?
Good question.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I think yes and no. I don't know how to answer that one. So We don't really know. We haven't been together that long. So we've been dating for about 6 months. And we haven't really been static enough to kind of set up home and see what each other's aesthetics is in that way.
Yeah, there's been a bit of chaos that's kind of, I guess, covered up that aspect of ourselves from each other, I guess, a little bit.
So I don't really, from what I've seen, like, yes and no, because we also talk about, like, oh, one day when we live together, because we do plan to, what it would look like, and we agree on most things.
Yeah.
So in terms of, like, how our, like, home would look, I think maybe yes, but I reckon there will also be some, like, disagreements there as well.
Probably.
I don't think we're exactly on the same page when it comes to aesthetics, but pretty similar.
Excited to find out.
Yeah, I don't think it's too different. I think it'll be fine. We both like the natural vibes. Yeah, like naked wood and clean. I don't know, clean aesthetic. I don't know. I think it's. I don't know how to answer that. That's my best answer. Okay. So the next part of that question was, do you have the same passions like thrifting, veganism, etc.? Yeah. That's kind of how we met. That's why we're together. Yeah. We met because we're both vegan and do vegan activism, and we've been thrifting a lot actually together. Neither of us really like shopping, like in conventional shops, for a multitude of reasons. So we've been going to thrift shops quite a lot, and we both love nature. Again, another reason why we're so good together is we like to be outdoors more than indoors, and we like to travel and adventure and experience the wilderness a little bit more. So yeah, I would definitely say we have the same.
I would agree. Yeah.
And the next bit, have you two ever been in a long distance relationship, and how did you cope? I think that means like together.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say it was long distance.
No.
We've had times where we've had to be separate for different reasons, and for like weeks at a time, but I wouldn't consider it long distance relationship, because some people have like years when they're on the other side of the planet, and I wouldn't know how to cope with that.
Yeah, I think we've been lucky, but also quite determined to be together. So, like, and a mixture of that has allowed us to be.
Yeah, it's been like a conscious decision not to have a long distance relationship. It would have been in some ways easier to do that in terms of like housing and living situation, but we just wanted to make sure that we were together and we didn't have to cope with a long distance relationship, because I don't know, I personally don't think I would be able to cope with that. So no, we haven't. Okay, next question. Can you cite some of the ways in which each of you has contributed to the other's growth and well-being? Ooh. I really like that question. That is a good one.
It's a very good one.
So I would say for me, you are extremely supportive, and that's probably the best way that you've contributed to my growth and well-being. So you you understand what I do and how important it is to me, and you support me in doing that, and that's really helpful and definitely helped me grow a lot.
It's nice to hear. I would say you've made me a lot more mindful and conscious, put simply, in a lot of ways. Yeah. How do I expand on that?
Any like specifics? Conscious of what? It's like I'm fishing for compliments.
Yeah,
like,
no,
how have I helped you?
There's a lot of things. One of them actually is like treating myself better. You've been really, made me really aware of treating myself better, and as well as that, just in general, there's a lot of things each day that I don't know, I just find myself becoming more aware and like wanting to be more mindful about that. Yeah, and I think you've been a bit like the catalyst for helping me see the world in that way and think about it more in that way. Yeah. Does that make any sense?
That's lovely. Yeah, it does. Yeah. It does. It's like a therapy session. Okay, next question is, what do you have to work at in your relationship? This is a therapy session now,
Yeah.
officially. What do you have to work at? Again, it's like a really new relationship. It's only been a matter of months, and so there hasn't really been anything yet that we've had to like work really hard at, I don't think, other than making sure that we're together.
Yeah.
It's been the most challenging thing. It's more to do with us kind of
Like
dealing with our surrounding than kind of like other people towards our relationship, because there's been a lot of opinions about our relationship, so it's more like we've come together to tackle that rather than things between us two within our relationship, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of the logistics in the most unromantic way possible, but yeah, just trying to find a space to be together. And yeah, but I don't think, I think, yeah,
I mean,
it's too
there
soon
might
to
be
say.
things coming up. It's only been months, there might be, but I don't know, I think we have good like open communication within our relationship, which definitely helps, because then if there is anything like niggling coming up, then we can just talk about it and kind of nip it in the bud. So I don't ever imagine that there's going to be like a huge feud or anything, because I just don't, I think that we deal with things before that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see, I don't know. To be continued. So the next question is, do you use birth control? I really could use some help since I can't find any zero waste options. So yes, we've actually been experimenting with different types of birth control. I can again have another video where I personally talk about my experiences with different methods of birth control, because I've tried a few in my lifetime, in my adult life. I don't take anything hormonal, so we've been using condoms, making sure that they are vegan condoms. Do you mind if I talk about it?
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I didn't know.
It's cool. Yeah.
Okay, we use vegan condoms, which you just have to make sure that they're latex free, and then they don't have, is it casein?
Yes, casein, which is like a byproduct of the dairy industry usually, I believe. Yeah, usually if they're latex free, then they're vegan, but you can always just search it online and you'll be able to find them.
So that's been how we have birth control that is vegan, and I'm also trying out a new method of natural birth control so that it's zero waste as well. I'll be sharing more of that on this channel for sure. I can do a dedicated video to that if you want, and I'll also definitely be showing you my experience with this new natural birth control in a future video. But basically it's tracking your monthly cycle, taking your temperature so that you know when you're ovulating and when you're not. That's basically what it is, but I'll be sharing more for sure. Okay, next question is, I know you mentioned he was vegan too. Do you have different views on having children or pets? I don't know. I don't know if we've kind of touched on these topics. I don't know if we've gone all in.
Yeah.
What are your views on having children? I think we'd both like to have children at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't like to repopulate the earth with like an abundance of children. I'd like to kind of max out at 2 children. I would like to have the experience myself of giving birth from a completely selfish point of view. I would like to have a child of myself, of my own, one day. And I'm not opposed to adopting as well. In which case I might even think of having more than 2, like maybe one day if it was through adoption. I don't want to be putting more people on this planet than we need, especially when there are children who need to be adopted. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I've always thought that I'd like to have children, but I have become more aware of the amount of humans there are on this planet, and I think adopting as well would be a good thing to do. Yeah.
And what about pets?
Pets. Well, I wouldn't really describe I don't really like using the word pets as a way to describe the animals who we live with, the other animals who we live with, just because I don't know, it sounds kind of like it puts them into a bracket of being that I don't know if it's quite right. In terms of whether we should buy pets or not, I don't think we should buy pets. We should rescue animals, rescue pets. So there's loads of places that have rescue centres for cats, dogs, and all sorts of other animals. And a lot of these animals will end up being killed or just kept in these centres for their life. And like really, that's really bad when there's people going out and buying pets and spending thousands on animals to be bred into existence. And so if we can not buy these animals and not pay for them to be continuously bred, it would mean that there's a lot less of these animals being killed in the pet industry.
The pedigree breeds also always have a lot of medical issues because it's not healthy, whereas the mongrels are a lot healthier, so therefore easier to take care of, as well as aren't in excruciating pain for their whole life. And I don't see a reason not to. Yeah, if you guys are long-term viewers on my channel, you will know Winnie. I have a cat, Winnie, who's currently staying with my mum, and
I love Winnie.
They got on so well. They're like best friends. She loves it when Peter comes around and plays with her. They're honestly best friends.
We are.
Yeah. In terms of us having an animal in the future, aside from Winnie,
I think
maybe.
Yeah.
Like maybe not. I don't know. Like not in the near future for sure, because we have Winnie to think about.
Yeah, it's a big commitment.
Yeah, I mean animals can live 20-25 years, so it's a long-term commitment. It's almost like having a child in terms of like length of time that they're with you and need your full attention. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. It's not like a definite no or a yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is an interesting one. So, does he also live in the country? I think they mean like the countryside. Being in the country now, Blue, will you be trying even more zero waste ideas such as composting toilets or growing your own food? Wishing you guys all the best. So yes, we will, because we plan to be traveling more, being a bit more nomadic, and
kind of with a base in London, but moving around as well, right?
Yeah, we'll definitely have a base here because London is my home, and that's where a lot of our work is, joint and separately. So we'll definitely need to be in London a lot of the time, but otherwise we're going to be traveling around a bit more, living a bit more nomadically, and living more self-sustaining. So we definitely plan to get a composting toilet, definitely plan to have at least some of our own food, even if it's just herbs to begin with. And yeah, we're definitely keen to be more self-sustaining, get some solar panels, get all of that stuff going.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, that's what we're working towards currently, so that's our like near future plan. Without giving too much away. Some of you guys have guessed what we're talking about already, but I'm not mentioning it yet. The next question is, what are your views on monogamous or polyamorous relationships? We have actually spoken about this before quite a bit, because I find different ways of having a relationship really fascinating. Do you want to start? I don't know.
Yeah, we've spoken about it, and more out of just curiosity of like what we both thought about it, and
yeah, I think we're both like really open-minded.
Yeah.
To things. I think for me it's more just see and feel how I am in each given day and in each individual relationship as well. So there have been relationships in the past where I've considered and actually wanted polyamorous relationship, but then feeling this relationship, I feel completely like whole in this relationship, I suppose. So I don't feel the need to go outside of it.
That's a good way to put it.
Not that that's why people have a polyamorous relationship. There's multiple different reasons, and it's individual to each person and to each specific relationship and pairing of people as well. So it's not like a no-go for me at all, but for how I am now, not for me right now.
I would agree.
But I was never like close-minded about it.
Yeah.
And I find it really interesting to see how other people have their relationships.
I think it comes back to like open communication as well.
Yeah.
Because that way, whatever you're feeling, you can feel like supported and safe in the relationship because you're open about it. And yeah.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to open up a conversation about potentially having a polyamorous relationship or a non-monogamous relationship of any kind, then you know we can always talk about it, and vice versa. I'd feel open to talking with you about it. So.
But for now, we're good as we are. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rest are just like repeated questions. So I'm pretty sure that we've answered all of the questions. They were really good questions.
They were. Yeah.
I thought that they were going to be a little bit like surface level, like I don't know, what's his name? So this is Peter, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know if I said that.
I don't know. I can't remember.
But we went deep. We went deep in the first video, so that's good. So
that's probably how it should be. Like
yeah, that's kind of how we met.
Yeah, later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A video. If you'd like me to do more videos with Peter, let me know. I'm happy to do that. And I think this is the first video I've ever done with anybody, so it went pretty well.
I think so.
I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.